What is your weirdest public bathroom experience? Old woman in an airport didn't lock the door and it was slightly open. So me in my sleep deprived state saw door ajar and went yes open stall. Pushed the door open and made super awkward eye contact with this really old woman. She was changing clothes for some reason. I was at my local mall and wanted to use the restroom before going home. There were 3 stalls in the restroom. Stall 1. The seat and floor were covered in pee. Pass. Stall 2. There was a pile of toilet paper stacked higher than the bowl. No thanks. Stall 3. The handicap stall. I opened the door and see one guy on his knees blowing another guy. On second thought, I think that I can wait until I get home. If it was an elevator you could have asked if he was getting off. Once when I was about 16 I went to a Mexican restaurant for dinner with my family, and I had to pee, so I went to the bathroom. I was pee in the urinal when a drunk dude came in and stood right by me for a moment, then asked me, "Hey kid, you wanna know something really cool you can do in here?" And I was like, yeah sure. He then took his dong out and started pee while walking backwards away from the other urinal, getting pee everywhere. He was laughing and said, "Dude, this is some Jedi crap right here." I practically ran out as quick as I can. It was super weird. Wrong, it was some Jedi pee right there. Not exactly a public bathroom, but I was at a festival and I was taking a leak up against fence. For some reason I look to the right and there's a guy maybe 5 feet away. He looks up and we both quickly look away, as protocol demands. The next day I was there again, taking a leak again. So was he. We both look up and nod at each other, surprised and weirded out. The day after I was there again and so was he. We then talked and decided to go have a beer. It must have been fate. We've met in all sorts of random places in the years since, mostly at times when there was a huge crowd and we just ran into each other. I don't know anything about him, but we've shared a few laughs. Good times. Pretty sure he's stalking you. 5 seconds after entering a highway rest area bathroom the electric hand dryer turned off, except it wasn't the hand dryer. Some dude had been holding pitch on a nasty fart since I had walked in. WTF how? Also why? Was using the bathroom stall at my work, Sears, and a guy came in to use the urinal and didn't know I was there. He made loud motorcycle noises as he pee, even shifting his legs around each time the gear would shift. He cut the engine as soon as I flushed the toilet, made a beeline for the door as soon as I came out of the stall. I felt bad. He was so embarrassed. Best story in this thread. Earlier this year, walked into a rest stop bathroom. Guy in one of the stalls was naked, mopping crap off the walls with his shirt, which he was rinsing out in the toilet. Well, not totally naked. He was still wearing his socks. His shoes were placed neatly at the door. Yeah, it'd be a shame if he got those shoes dirty. Was once taking a crap in the college bathrooms and this one kid walked up to the stall door, toes sticking about 3 inches into the stall, and tilted his head so both eyes were legit looking through the door crack and asked how much longer. It was terrifying that this dude was that eager to see with 20/20 vision whether or not that stall was occupied. I laughed. His spirit animal is an owl. Walked in on my 50-plus-year-old boss with his pants down around his ankles at the urinal. I didn't really know what to do. He didn't turn around, so I just walked right back out. This wasn't a private bathroom. Walked into the restroom at a 24-hour Walmart at like 1 AM to find a naked middle-aged woman just chilling in there. I held my pee until I got home. Couple weeks ago I went to a Chinese buffet. Shortly after, emergency crap. So I'm sitting in there and some little kid comes in and starts fricking around. Starts flickering the lights and then turns it off. The little sucker starts throwing wet paper towel balls over the stall. Then he walks out with the lights off. This is where the act of flinging poo originated from. Was taking a stinky poop and the guy next to me was asking me to please flush that. I'm sorry, but that's both hilarious and rude of him. You weren't in a rose field, for God's sake. I was 14 years old at a near dead mall where a music group I was in held rehearsals. I took a break from the rehearsal to go to the bathroom and both stalls were full. I really needed to go and I didn't think there were any other bathrooms there, so I just waited it out. The people in the 2 stalls are dead silent for several minutes. I'm tapping my foot impatiently waiting. Then I hear one of them say, "So are we gonna do this or not?" Then I hear heavy breathing and something dripping on the floor, followed by getting toilet paper to mop it up. I got out of there and just decided to hold it after that. Around the time I was in high school, I was at the mall with my family and took my little brother to the food court bathroom. We walked into the door and there was a kid of about 8-9 years old with his pants around his ankles dancing up and down, just peeing everywhere. When we walked into the room, he stopped, pulled up his pants and ran out. So that's how that happens. I have two, both of which happened in college. I was peeing in a stall, and the guy next door to me reaches his hand underneath the stall, tapping my foot to get my attention. I ask out loud if he wants some toilet paper or something, but he says nothing. Instead, he gives my foot a squeeze and then starts rubbing my ankle with one finger. In a panic, I stomped on his hand really hard and ran out. I walked out of one of the shower stalls to see a guy sitting on the toilet across from me, door wide open and his pants around his ankles, talking loudly into his phone about how huge and nasty smelling his crap is. I just walked out without saying anything. My friends and I were toward the end of the night hitting the bars, so most of us were fairly intoxicated. We arrive at a new bar and my friend Joe and I decide we need to take a leak. The bathroom only has one toilet and one urinal, and a long line. When we get to the front of the line, the urinal is in use. Joe takes his place at the toilet, and I'm on deck. Then Joe leans back and yells, "Hey, Aaron, come cross streams with me." The guy using the toilet jumps a foot, spins his head around to look at Joe, and goes, "What the frick did you say?" I, very drunk and with a full bladder, decided frick it and stepped up next to Joe to share his toilet. The urinal dude looks extremely relieved and goes, "Oh my god, your name's Aaron too?" I thought he was talking to me and was really freaked out, and that's how we made a new friend in the bathroom. Not all exciting, but I was at a music festival a few years ago, and the music was finished and everybody was heading back to the campsite. Stopped at a toilet block to take a crap. Lock on the door was broken, but frick it, the rest were busy and I needed to go and was drunk enough to not car. At some point, the door opens, and a girl appears at the door and sees me. Ended up having a nice conversation, just me sitting taking a crap and this girl watching me and chatting. No, before you ask, I didn't get sex. Drunk enough to not car. I see you're from Boston. I was at a college football game, using one of those awful trough urinals. It's busy, naturally, and there's zero privacy, as many do. I got a bit of stage fright and ended up standing awkwardly in the firing squad lineup for just a little too long. Wouldn't have been too bad, but the guy next to me wouldn't stop complimenting me on my watch. In a bathroom in Busch Gardens, we had just stopped to use the bathroom after lunch. As we washed our hands, we heard mom catch, followed by an airborne pair of soaking wet underwear which flew over the stall and promptly landed in my friend's mom's hair. She was horrified. We at least tried to convince her that we were close to the water rides. Went to take a pee at a Sportsman Warehouse in Fairbanks, Alaska. 3 urinals. 2 guys pee already. The urinal remaining was to the left and not the middle, which was a sigh of relief for me. Started to pee when all of a sudden the guy at the right hand urinal yelled at the guy at the middle urinal, "Goddammit James, stop looking at my dong." Silence. I finished after both had gone and made my way back to my wife. There I saw both guys and their wives and kids and a strong tense feeling among the husbands at each other. So awkward. Sounds more like best friends making a stranger feel uncomfortable for shoots and giggles. Old man got arrested for cruising in the bathroom of Pearson Airport in Toronto. I was just taking a pee and I heard some guy in the stall say, "Man, what the frick are you doing?" Went back to my gate while I waited for my flight, which was right next to that bathroom. Watched an old man come out, get questioned by police and then arrested. I used to go see the Christmas Carol every year when I was a kid at a local theater. IDK if this guy was on drugs, but he had a prosthetic leg and was acting really strange. Anyways, at the end of the play I went to take a crap and sometimes it takes me a minute on the toilet. I don't like to rush. Well, I guess this guy was waiting on the stall or something, because I see him peek into the crack of the door and then begins to tell everyone in the bathroom, "That kid take a poo, that kid take a poo." When I finished, I freaking booked it out of that bathroom. To this day I can just remember the raspy voice of that old man saying, "That kid take a poo." Okay, that's a really weird story. Nice. It's Christmas Day and my sister and I are waiting in the departures lounge of the Durban International Airport, South Africa. She heads to the bathroom to complete her pre-flight ritual, anti-air sickness meds and a quick prayer to any deity that'll listen, and comes back looking visibly weirded out. I asked her if she's alright and she blurts out, "I made the cleaning lady cry." Turns out when she entered the bathroom the cleaning lady was busy doing her thing. She sees my sister enter and because my sister wears a scarf, we're Muslim, she motions her to use the toilet at the furthest end since it has a bidet hose, and us Islamists are all about dem bidet hoses. She also does this with the biggest smile. So my sis uses the bathroom and, feeling touched that the lady helped her out, decided to give her the last 100 rand she had in her wallet. After all, we were leaving the country and wouldn't be back to South Africa for a while. Also 100 rand is about the equivalent of about 10 Aussie dollars. So when you think about it, not a huge monetary amount in the scheme of things. So my sis hands the lady the money and starts to say something appropriately Christmassy. Before she can though, the woman's face starts to crumple and she drops her mop. She starts sobbing. Not like crying gently or anything, but clutching the money to her chest and sobbing. My sister, socially awkward butterfly that she is, panics, pats the woman a few times on the shoulder and evacuates the bathroom as quickly as she can. I got this story out of her over the following 10-hour flight, and that is how my visibly Muslim sister somehow took part in a Christmas miracle. When I was in college in the 80s, Starship, formerly Jefferson Airplane, formerly Jefferson Starship, was coming to our university to do a concert, and afterwards, there was going to be a big Starship party after the show. I should explain this was back in the days when our dorm, which was co-ed on every other floor, had 2 big communal bathrooms because our dorm rooms were so small, we didn't have private ones. I was on one of the girls' floors, so we had 2 big ladies' rooms on each wing of our floor with tons of sinks, toilets and shower stalls. I like Starship well enough, but I wasn't going to the show or the party. I had other plans with my friends that night. So I'm in the ladies' room doing my makeup since the lighting was better, and this girl I knew from the other side of the hallway comes in with all her shower stuff and says, "Hey, are you going to the Starship show and the party afterwards?" I said, "Nah, a bunch of us are going out, but we're skipping that," she says. "AWW, too bad. It's going to be fun," I said. "Yeah, have a great time." And with the conversation ended, she goes into the shower, pulls the curtain closed, hangs a robe up on hook outside, turns on the water, and begins to loudly masturbate in the shower while gasping, "Starship party. Starship party." She knows I'm right out there at the sink doing my makeup, and at that time, the bathroom was fairly crowded because everyone was either getting ready for the concert or to go out like I was. I mean, she was just in there taking care of business like she had this big, full, communal bathroom all to herself. This is why you wear shower shoes in the communal showers, kids. At my college there was this one washroom that everyone knew as the best pooping washroom. It was small, minimal stalls, lots of ambient noise, and a bit hidden away so not a lot of traffic. It's one of the best washrooms if you have a shy brown eye. So my 11 o'clock butt trash arrives and I book it to the poop room. First stall is taken, that's fine. This is an established safe pooping zone by all accounts. Third stall is decimated, so I'm left with the middle. But of course as I sit down I realize first stall is actually occupied by some chick sitting on the floor, crossed-legged reading a dang book. So her face and my butt were pretty much having a conversation between a thin sheet of metal. I contemplated unloading as aggressively as I could, but I could only get a tinkle out. That's when you leave and come back with a water bottle with a sports top. Stand up, facing the throne, start to stream the bottle into the bowl, then sneeze, cough and blast a stream onto the floor under that stall wall. Apologize profusely. You have been visited by the heckin' incredible Chubba Pupper of fresh trims. Reply with sick Barnett. Pupper and never have a bad haircut again. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.